So hello everyone, I'm back for my next Buffy Season 8 review. This will be the Twilight arc, which actually reveals the identity of Twilight, so if you have not read it and you do not want to be spoiled, turn off the video because I will be talking about the identity of Twilight, everything around it, and there will be multiple spoilers throughout, so again, another warning, just turn back if you haven't read it yet. Um, so here we've got Twilight. Um, so, as it turns out, Angel is Twilight. What the fuck? I found out about this when I first kind of let it leak on the internet. I just kind of looked it up and stuff, and I found out. But I was like, okay, all right, we'll see. We'll see if they can make it a good explanation. And they haven't really explained a whole lot. It just, it's kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. Like Angel just being Twilight, it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. It was just so I'm assuming that Buffy season 8 takes place after everything that's happening on Angel with IDW right now. So once that ends and goes back to Dark Horse, I think that it'll be the continuation. So goes like Angel season 5, Angel After Earthfall and all that shit, and then Buffy season 8, and then season 9 and the new Angel series will be side by side because Dark Horse got the rights back to Angel. So, uh, so yeah, you've got Angel as Twilight. Uh, he's acting really weird. He's like when him and Buffy went to like the Twilight dimension, I guess if you could call it that. He just the way he was talking, it didn't sound like Angel. It didn't because I've watched 8 seasons worth of stuff with the character Angel. I kind of know. I kind of like to think I've got a handle on what he would say, and it just doesn't sound like him at all. And uh, I'm not sure. It just anyway. I'm gonna start the rest of the review off with the first issue in this, which is called Turbulence. And it's really a transitioning period from Retreat to Twilight, just kind of like everyone getting their shit together, and Buffy's like, she's got the ability to fly and shit, and then she goes to Xander and kind of expresses her love, which she's like 8 9 years too late for that, because Xander, he did love Buffy at one time in that way, and it was just more like a high school crush than anything. But he would. I don't think even if he wasn't with Dawn, I don't think he'd ever go with Buffy anymore because it's just not right. And Buffy, of course, now seeing how unavailable Xander is and seeing that it's with Dawn, of course she would want him. So I don't really feel like Buffy actually feels like actually loves Xander in that way. She just wants him because she can't have him. That's my assessment of it anyway. And then they kind of make peace with it. Xander and Buffy. It's kind of okay. It's all cool. It's all good. But I didn't really like what Willow said. It's like, oh, Xander and Dawn are together? It's about time. What do you mean it's about time? There's never been any indication of that. It's like, I mean, once in oh, I forget which arc it was, but in one of the arcs, Giant Dawn and Xander having quite a good talk, but, that, I didn't really think that was anything to think, they're gonna get together. It was just, as I said in the retreat thing, like the Xander Dawn thing is totally random and just probably just to give Dawn something to do. Um, oh, and then you've got like the goddesses thing. That was just absolutely ridiculous. Like, see if we can find the goddesses. Yeah, there's a good shot of the goddesses right there. They look absolutely insane. And Buffy and Willow just kind of take care of them, and Buffy shows that everyone else that she can fly, and that's kind of the end of the issue, really. And it's like okay. Oh, and Oz, they just totally fucking. He was in a little bit of this when Willow just got her magic back, and he was there up until the point where she got it back, and never see him again. He's never explained where he went. He's never explained, oh hey, well, whatever with Oz, he was just gone. They just totally, you know, wasted his return in retreat and just kind of pushed him to the side in this. What the hell? That's what I say. What the hell? Um, but then you've got going into the Twilight arc. You've got Xander wants to know basically the limits of Buffy's powers, and I really like what he does with the whole faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. That was great. I knew exactly what he was doing. And then I like it when both Dawn and Amy kind of click into what he's doing. It's like, oh, oh, losers, I know what they're doing. And then Amy, nerds and whatever. That was extremely funny. And then Xander like going through like every power he can think of through like every comic book of what Buffy might have, but she doesn't. And it's like, how about phasing? So that was a nice little Kitty Pryde, shout out. And I love the part where Buffy notices when she does get like telescopic vision. She goes over to Amy Warren and the General, and she's like kind of floating there. It's like, General, do you care to step outside? So that was a neat little homage thing to like Superman 2, I think. That was great. Uh, and then once like Buffy finds out Angel's Twilight, they fight for a bit. Then Buffy kind of starts to believe what Angel says. Then they start to have the sex, and they kind of go hardcore, I'd say. It's like weird, weird ass sex. It's like because Angel, he's got like the Twilight powers, so he's got I think like every power that Buffy has, new power, and it's just they're like flying and you know going at it. It's like talk about multitasking. Jeez, they just wow. And boys got stamina. They went on for a whole issue. That was kind of weird. I'm sitting there reading this and I'm like, this is so weird, but kind of arousing. Not really, but then I don't really get where Angel, he screws Buffy, but he doesn't lose his soul. Now, I'm aware that having sex, now for Angel, when Angel has sex, it doesn't necessarily mean the loss of the soul, because, he had sex with Nina, he had sex with Eve. But if he has sex with Buffy, because he loves Buffy, and Buffy's like the love of his long life, being human reference, and he never, I don't think he'll ever stop loving Buffy, so it's kind of weird. Maybe these new powers prevent him from losing his soul. I don't know. I kind of think something's possessing Angel. Just as I said earlier, with the way he was talking, it didn't sound right, and I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I just think, you know, I hope that in the last Gleaming arc, which comes out in like June or July, I hope they kind of explain a little more about what's going on, because this is Buffy season 8 has just gotten like super weird, especially with this. Uh, oh, and then like the whole kind of explanation for Buffy's powers, these new powers she's like manifested. Giles kind of explains it, but it's kind of confusing. Like, I guess like the way that Angel said, it's like every Slayer hopes that his girl, or every Watcher hopes that his Slayer is the one that like evolves, I guess. And there's always been like a certain amount of balance, one Slayer to all the vampires. And now since Buffy kind of fucked things over with that when she made everyone who could be a Slayer, to like all the vampires, it screwed with the balance of reality, and it's kind of Buffy and Angel's destinies to kind of like make this new world or something. I don't even know. It's weird. I read the thing. I finished this yesterday and I still don't know. Yesterday for me, not yesterday for you guys. But it's I don't know. Season 8 I just find is just scattered quite a bit, and I'm hoping when they do go when season 9 comes around, since it's going to be shorter anyway. But hopefully they'll get, back down to the basics. Uh, that's what I'm hoping for. Oh, and then at the end, Spike comes back. That's interesting. He comes in some freaky ass spaceship thing, which, I don't know how they're doing that, but I guess we'll just see. We'll have to wait and see till Last Gleaming comes out. I know all the issues are out, but I don't buy the individual issues, so I have to wait till the trade comes out, because trades are nice. See, I like trades. So that's basically it for the Twilight arc. I think I got all my thoughts across. Uh, yeah, I think that's basically it. So we'll see what happens in Last Gleaming, and oh, that's right. There's the Willow one shot in here, which is a prequel to season 8 about her kind of exploring more of her magics and how she could have had Tara for a guide through this whole reality thing, but she decided not to. It was really just, it didn't really give us any more information. Just Willow has kind of, I think Willow has some kind of sexual relationship with the Snake Lady. But other than that, the Willow one shot's okay. I find it probably could have they probably could have done a little mini series on that one, but I guess we'll get what we get. And anyway, that was it for Twilight. Um, so hopefully, well, there's the 2 Buffy season 8 reviews I was promised. I've been wanting to do for a while. So thank you all for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys for the season 8 finale, Last Gleaming, in June or July. So until then, have a good one.